Welcome to the inner arena. This isn't motivation. This is leadership conditioning at its fullest. And if you're ready to get swag, self-awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit, subscribe below and let's get to work. Today, I want to talk about the lack of fulfillment that high achievers and leaders may have. Check it. We're always on the go. I'm a high achiever too. And we're working, we're going and we're going. And we carry this. And as we achieve our goals, there's still something missing. Each goal that we achieve, each milestone that we hit, we still carry this emptiness. But why? Why? And how do we get that swag back? Right? That's the piece that's missing. And that's what I want to talk about, that lack of fulfillment. And when you think about it, our values, our core values, right? To this point, we know what our values are. Those values are ingrained in us. And that's why we achieve what we achieve and we go as we go. But what I want to do is put more awareness to those values to regain not only your fulfillment, but swag, self-awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. And see, as you hit these milestones, there's that element of your core values missing because you're not feeling fulfilled. And you may be going after these external achievements, title, promotion, money, all of that. That's great. And I congratulate you for hitting those milestones, but think about it. If that fulfill if that fulfillment, that purpose is missing, you feel empty. So how do you get that back? How do you get that back? It starts with your values. It starts with your core values, right? But we naturally carry these values and it's ingrained in us. But let's put awareness on what those values are. Those core values, those non-negotiable values. And then as you approach whatever field that you're in, lean in with those values first. And here's what I mean. Here's what I mean. Okay. Up to this point, you may not have put much consciousness on your values because they're just naturally ingrained in you and you make your decisions based on those values, rightfully so. So, and you're a high achiever. But what about if we put consciousness around those values, then that brings in the fulfillment, right? Because your values is creates your decision making, it's your integrity, it's how you really navigate. It's ultimately why you are the achiever that you achieve, or a high achiever, or a high performer, however you want to define it. So, and I talk a lot about this, right? And one of the things that I teach to my clients and in workshops is discovering your core values. And we do that by identifying, your top 25. So for simplicity, and I mentioned this in other videos, it's really simple to do. The first thing you can do is utilize ChatGPT to identify 100 values, right? And then out of those 100 values, narrow it down to your personal top 20, 25 values. Just go through it, identify whatever resonates with you, whatever values is important to you that resonates with you. You got your 25. And then take a step back, prioritize those 25 and identify your top 10. Okay. Then with those top 10, I want you to break that down to your top 3 to 5 non-negotiables. Okay. And do it for your personal and then do it for your work or career. Do it for spiritual. Do it for whatever categories you want to focus this on. But here's the thing, your values change. They change monthly, it changes as you grow. So just know that your values will not be set um, because you change. And as you change, your values change. But we identify those core five values, 3 to 5 values. And here's why. When you reach a certain milestone in your life and you don't have that fulfillment, that desire of what you thought you would have, maybe one of those values are offline a little bit, right? And when you think about how we feel discouraged in these moments, something around our values may be offline that generates that missing component of fulfillment that we desire. And so when you have those five core values that drives you, now align that with your goals, align that in the work that you do, and in highlighting those values to lean in with, that's where the fulfillment starts to come in. So then you incorporate swag, right? Swag, self-awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. So let's say you have a goal and you're a high achiever and you're trying to get to that next level, whatever that looks like. The self-awareness, right? Understanding your emotions and your feelings as you're set to achieve these goals. That's the self awareness piece. The why power is understanding the purpose of going after this goal and what the fulfillment, helping you visualize what the fulfillment of achieving this goal will potentially feel like. So before being a high achiever, you're naturally on autopilot, and this is what you do. You show up because your values drive that, but you haven't up to that point had consciousness of your core values and why they're important towards this goal. So the why power helps put that purpose back, leaning in so that you have clear identity and purpose, and it resonates in why you're going after this goal. So that's the why power. And then aligned action, right? What actions can you naturally take that keeps you in alignment and fulfilled while moving towards accomplishing this goal? Okay. And sometimes maybe it's reminding yourself to celebrate the miniature milestones as you hit certain points in your growth towards your goals. That's an aligned action. And the discipline to stay in alignment of celebrating that is the grit. Because if you're off line and you're just going through the motions because you are a high achiever, but you're so used to being a high achiever that you can just, push through it as quickly as possible without any emotion attached to it, right? That that can lose the fulfillment of your purpose and why you're going after this goal. And so the swag helps keep you in alignment of the purpose to why you're going after these goals in the first place. And that's powerful. That's powerful because, you know, you're recognized as this high performer and you do what you do for a reason, but you do it so often that you often forget to celebrate the wins. And so not celebrating the wins, like, it becomes a little boring, so to speak, and unfulfilling. And that's what we're talking about. So swag really helps you get that fulfillment back because what you're doing is you're putting concentration towards the power of understanding your why. And that why is your core values. And then that's how you start to regain the fulfillment of doing what you do as a high achiever, as a leader, as a high performer. And that's what it is. And that's how you get the reps in. And that's what I train for in the inner arena. We do leadership conditioning to train the mindset on building your swag, self-awareness, why power, aligned action, and grit. Hit the subscribe button. I'm looking forward to working with you. We also have a free cheat sheet that's available to you. Go to innerarenaleadership.com swag underscore cheat sheet. You do that, you'll download your free cheat sheet and utilize that to build your swag, or just subscribe to this channel and continue to get these awesome videos. I look forward to seeing you and see you in the next round.